Hi, I'm Rob Sheets, owner of Your Electrician in Orange County, California. And today I'd like to talk to you about ground fault receptacles. I get a lot of concerns about ground fault receptacles and a lot of service calls about them. Some of them are catastrophic failures and some of them are simply improper installations. I'd like to share with you a little bit of knowledge that can help you distinguish between what's something that might turn into an emergency and might help the average homeowner or average handyman to properly install them. First, let's talk about how ground fault receptacles work. I have here some crude wire to talk you through how the basic circuit goes. This white and black wire up here represents the power coming to and from the receptacle and the load plugged into it. This black wire, coiled around the two in the form of a small transformer within the receptacle, looks at the net current or net field produced, and it will trip the circuit if need be. Normally, under proper operation, the two wires, the supply and the return, if you will, to keep it simple, cancel each other out, and there's no current to trip the ground fault circuit interrupter. When something goes wrong, maybe some water gets involved in the operation, or maybe it's just a bad appliance that's going bad, a current is induced in this coil, which causes the trip circuit in the ground fault circuit interrupter to open in less time than it would take for you to feel the shock by design and take everything offline that's plugged into that ground fault circuit receptacle and any downstream outlets. Here I have an example of a ground fault circuit receptacle that's failed catastrophically. As you can see, there's a lot of charring, and on the back it melted a hole and damaged the wires that were attached. This happened because it was wired improperly. And I have one that's not damaged that I'd like to show you the proper way it's wired. This is what a ground fault receptacle looks like before it burns up. As you can see, it has two buttons on the front. These buttons represent how you test it and reset it if it trips. Just pushing the test button will cause the circuit to trip, and pushing the reset button will place the circuit back in operation. Fairly simple, and no need to call an electrician to reset it. On the back, fresh out of the box, you have two sets of terminals. Sometimes the one with the warning is on top, sometimes it's on bottom. It just varies from manufacturer to manufacturer. The important thing is knowing that the one with the warning tells you which one is the line or incoming power and which one is the load or everything after downstream of the ground fault circuit interrupter. Oftentimes I get calls from homeowners who have had a GFCI receptacle go bad, and they say, my GFCI receptacle isn't working. I had a handyman come out, he replaced it, but it still doesn't work. I think there might be something wrong with the circuit or wrong with the panel. The first thing I do is I open up the receptacle and I look. 9 times out of 10, I find both the supply and the downstream side, the load and line side wires, all plugged into the load side of the GFCI receptacle. What that does is it doesn't provide any power to the receptacle to operate. So it won't reset, you won't be able to plug anything in, but your circuit breaker won't trip either. So it'll look like there's some hidden fault somewhere. Properly, you should have wires plugged into the line side, supplying the power, and if there's downstream circuits that the GFCI is protecting, you should have wires plugged in to the load side. A properly trained electrician can easily identify which wires are which with a simple voltmeter. And most handymen are pretty handy too, and a lot of homeowners can figure it out too if they have experience. Don't worry if it seems confusing. You can call an electrician in your local jurisdiction and they would be more than happy to come out and take care of you. The other thing I'd like to talk about is surge protectors. Surge protectors can cause outlets to go out even if they're not GFCI outlets. If you're using a lot of surge protectors, it's a good sign you need some more outlets and should definitely call an electrician. Otherwise, this can turn into this. Hopefully you learned a little bit and have more confidence to either replace, reset, or just call an electrician to take care of your electrical needs. Thank you for your time today. I really enjoyed being able to talk to you and share a little bit of knowledge about ground fault circuit interrupters. Once again, I'm Rob Sheets, your electrician of Orange County.